Good evening. Good evening, YouTube. This is Don here, welcoming you back for another movie night review, number 327, called We Forgot There Were Zombies. This is a short film, comedy horror film, and let's get into the movie night review right now. All right, yes, two buddies are having at it at these zombie attacks, and these zombie bites. They have a vaccine, an antidote for the bites, and they are choosing one after the one until it just ends up a vaccine fest or something. I don't know. It really is a good short film for it to be a comedy. It's pretty up there. And also you will recognize um that he might turn into different things it's just really wild. He turns into food at rates, and but the ending, oh my gosh, it's like the biggest shocker because as soon as they try to escape clear and free, it's just a lot more going on after that. So yeah, after they got clean, it seems like it just started up again. So the subject for tonight is glorified. Now, glorified is a way about people. It's not only a way, but it's also a subject for individuals to return to the way. All right. So when we just kind of understand why a person would go so far involved into it, yeah, only if they're okay with understanding why people just don't go there. Um, there are too many times when there are individuals that can do things and they do things the whole time. But if you're like talking back to back and you're saying like whatever you want to say, some people might find that is bougie and out of control. But there's others that kind of find it dumb, because you're speaking your mind, but there's nobody paying for it. So glorified is the sanction of fidelity and fiduciary acts, where a person is ridding things. It just doesn't make any kind of freaking sense. All right. If they are the only one doing it too, to not uphold you in that manner. So glorified already sees that every single thing is there, but it may not see that the person who started all of that is tenderizing their own money meats in a sloppy ham chop way. All right. So, pretty much, if you are involved with people, then it will just happen. But if you're not as involved with people and something has to happen, then it's just something having to happen. On glorified, you will find yourself wise, you'll find yourself independent, and you'll find yourself not asking a lot of questions outside of the market. It just goes to show you that when people are doing themselves, the high bidding is always on the one who's clean. There isn't anything else about it. So when people are finding the shit on their, or excuse my language, but this stuff on their skin, and then they recognize stuff in their mouth, and they recognize that they're not even on their same diet, let alone they look like the food. They look like the food itself, you know, and I'm referencing a little bit of the short film, but all in all, Glorified only has you understanding the passage of law that only sees itself. So if you were to ever see yourself in a light and somebody comes over to you and they say, hey, you know, there's so many things that I see, but I just don't see you. That's because they are not there. But the real freaky shit about it is if they're not there and you're talking with them, then how much that I'm not there makes sense to pay. Like all of it, like your whole, maybe you're missing a life from the other point of relative view that really means something more to you than you thought that things were in the whole. And nobody wants to lose a life for a fucked up hero, for a freak. Nobody wants to lose a life for a freak, you know? So, all in all, on Glorified, it is the way. It is the only way. And only people know that when they look dingy, when they dingy or have a slimy appeal to them, it just is a slimy situation. But the appeal is always that one because he's only slime anyway that has us to feel, sense, and essence the fact about why we are on a guy like that, why we're on him, but not so much he's the slime. It's always outside, and it has us to come to his grimy slickness. All right. So if it's a grimy slickness, and he hasn't brought that to the forefront or to the individual that would really be looking at him from an aspect of anything, then he's only slime. But we're trying to say go up a little bit higher so someone can say it's for the glorified and not for a way about people that want to speculate on why I do things. Have a nice night.